Hey everyone, and welcome to CS Knits. I am Chandra, your host. Today is March 7th, 2015, and I had intentions of recording yesterday, but I had decided last minute that I was going to go ahead and record on my actual camcorder, but when I pulled it out of the closet, the battery on it was dead. So I ended up just letting it charge for yesterday, and yesterday was really busy at the motel, as was the day before that, and I'm here by myself, minus the dog, who is sitting on the couch next to me looking out the window. So you'll probably hear him growl if somebody walks by, because we're still learning that that's not okay. But, so I decided that I would just record today instead, because the camera is now charged and ready to go. And I have some things to talk about. I advance warn you that I have water here because I have got heartburn that will not go away. So this is a knitting show. I am currently trying to catch up, spending today trying to catch up on my podcast that I normally watch. And it looks like I have 2, 4, 5 to catch up on, which isn't a big deal. It's nice to have something to watch and to do with my day, especially when I'm here by myself. There's only so much TV you can watch, and I feel like every time I am watching TV, nothing good is on. So I end up going to like Netflix and Hulu and watching the same shows over and over and over again. So I will forewarn you, if you see me looking up in this area, this is where the cameras are for the motel. So I'll kind of every once in a while, out of habit now, just glance up there to see if there's cars pulling in or what. But I'll try not to do it. It doesn't work that well, but I'll see what I can do. So let's get to it. What is out of the bag? I have one sock of my dad's out of the bag. This is the birthday socks. He has pretty wide feet, but this one, for some reason, is wider than normal. I don't know if it's the yarn or what. So my husband, who is gone this weekend, he's at a coaching clinic in Portland, Oregon, so he's about 5 hours from here. I'll have to have him try them on because he's the same size foot as my dad, so we'll see. I might end up having to knit basically a third sock to make sure that they fit, but this is just a vanilla sock. I'm not a fan of patterned socks, just simply because I don't like long legs on my socks, and nobody ever sees them usually on me. So anyways, this is just a toe-up plain vanilla sock. This is 4 inches of 2x2 ribbing, nothing super fancy, but stretchy for the ankle part. And I did the Afterthought heel. This is the sock that I had started on Magic Loop, and then I changed to circulars. And so I kind of wanted to touch base and do a circular needle update on that as well. But this is out of the bag. This is on Knit Picks Stroll fingering in the cartoon colorway. It's basically just yellows, greens, a little bit of an orangey-ish color, red, blues. It's a pretty color. It's pretty festive anyways. So that's one sock. This is the second sock. It's also just toe up. I did the toe portion on Magic Loop, and then I switched to circulars. And so I'm currently on the ribbing portion of it. So here's this one. And then I started the ribbing. You can see I didn't use a super contrasting color for my waist yarn. You can see the darker green there. Use a super contrasting color. It's hard with a yarn like this because it seems like these are colors that I gravitate towards, so I used black on the last one, which was contrasting, but then I had a hard time picking up stitches and such, so that's something to be aware of too. Of course, the dog is going to decide he needs to go out now since he's been taking a nap. But I'm about a ½ inch maybe into the ribbing, so I have quite a bit left to go. I did 4 inches of ribbing on the first sock, so we'll see if I need to do a third sock potentially. But I have to wait. My husband won't be home until tomorrow, probably pretty late. So I just did what's out of the bag / what's in the bag, because what's in there right now is the second sock. That's all I've been working on. All of it. I also, of course, have like my Viagente 2 is still in the bag. I haven't touched that. My sock blanket, I haven't touched that since the last video. I've just been working on the socks because I wanted to get those done before I go to Hardin. And so, let's see, what is going into the bag after I'm done with the socks is, after I'm done with these birthday socks, is my matching socks for me and baby. You can see it's still in there. It's opal yarn. It's the first, it will be the first pair of socks, or anything actually, that I've made out of opal yarn. And so I'm excited about getting to do that. I'm going to do baby socks on Magic Loop because I'm just doing tube socks for him. And then for me, I'm going to do the circulars and try doing a Fish Lips Kiss Heel, I think is what I decided I would try to do. We'll see how that goes. But that's in the bag, so that's actually what's going to get cast on next, right after I'm done with these socks. And then the other thing that will get cast on is the baby hat. This is the Knit Picks Fleechy in the Mountain Stream, I think it is. Let me check. In the, yep, Mountain Stream colorway. And I'm just doing a regular, I found just a easy peasy, it's called Easy Peasy Leftover Sock Newborn Hat. And I believe that this was a free pattern. Easy Peasy Leftover Sock Hat. It's got an I-cord thing on the top, which I haven't ever done I-cord, but it'll be fun to learn it. So that will be going on after the matching socks. My feelings on the hat, I do want to have it done, of course, since before baby is here, but because I want to take it to the hospital with us, and so he can have a nice handmade mommy made him hat. But it's not something that I'm necessarily like panicking over, where I'm not panicking over the socks, but for me the socks are kind of just going to be a little bit more important because we'll have a matching pair. And then I thought about it, and I have this leftover. I don't want to make my husband any more socks because he only wants to wear them for like hunting. And so I'm like, he hasn't worn either of the pairs that I've given him. So I thought maybe a good incentive, I have leftover from the last pair of socks that I made him. And so I thought maybe I'll make, potentially, I'll make a second pair of socks for baby that match dad's socks. And I had thought, okay, well I have an extra skein of this yarn too, so I can make myself a matching pair so we can all three have the same. But then I was like, I just don't want to use this for my own. I have, it's not bad to work with or anything. It's just kind of boring because it doesn't really do a lot of color changing. And I do have a pair, I have a skein of yarn that's similar to this, but it's got pinks in it, so on top of the bright color. So maybe I'll do that and just have it like a contrasting matchy, if that makes sense. So I pulled that out. It was in the tub for the sock blanket yarn. I will definitely probably still have some left over after doing the baby tube socks, so I'll probably do a matching pair for baby in this, and then it'll go back into the sock blanket bucket. Just wait. You gotta wait now. You decided to get up late. Okay, so I wanted to do just a quick little thing on the circular update. I love working on the circulars. If you've never done circular sock needles, 9-inch circulars, try it, because I thoroughly have been enjoying it. It goes by very quickly. You don't really Like mentally when I do something on Magic Loop, I think, okay, well, here's a good stopping point. Here's a good stopping point. When I'm on this, I'm just like, this is not a good place to stop. This is not a good place to stop. I'm not even paying attention. It could be a perfect place to stop, but I just don't want to. And it seems to just go by so fast. So I really have been enjoying working on the 9-inch circulars. So I definitely suggest maybe trying it if you're not sure about Magic Loop. If you do double pointed needles, power to you. I can't do them. I don't really care to try and do them. I did try once, but I feel like they're fiddly. Even Magic Loop sometimes is like, because you get to the end of the row and then you have to pull and then you have to flip, and this you just keep going. So I like that aspect of it as well. I wanted to talk about how I keep my socks together. I know I do this with both my commercial and my hand knit socks. I put a safety pin in my socks, in my pairs, so that they stay together through washing. This is just a commercial pair of socks, and so I just put one safety pin in the middle of the two, and that way the laundry monster thing doesn't eat one of my socks. And it was kind of a pain when I first did it because you have to go through and like safety pin every single pair. And so that was kind of obnoxious at first. Once I had them all completely safety pinned, then it wasn't such a big deal. All I do is like in the morning, I'll grab my pair of socks. I have like a little glass with extra safety pins just in case in the bathroom. And so what I do is I take the safety pin off and I leave it open and I hook it on the edge of the cup, wear my socks for the day. When I go to take a shower at night, I just safety pin them back together before I throw them in the hamper. So they stay together. For my knitting, for my hand knit socks, what I actually do is I put 2 safety pins on. I put one on each side, so that way it's not just one safety pin kind of holding it all together. And that way, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit more secure with the stitches. And I haven't had any problems. These are the very first socks that I ever knit. They are Knit Picks, Felici in the Shamrock colorway. And I'm pretty sure I made them almost a year ago, because I think I had them for St. Patty's Day last year. But these ones I did cuff down, just regular heel gusset turns. But that's how I keep all of my socks together in my sock drawers. My husband, he doesn't care. He likes his completely separated. He'll just pick through and grab pairs. I also wanted to ask you about, like, I use Ravelry, I use Craftsy sometimes. I've heard of, I think it's called Knitty or something like that. Is there any sites similar to Ravelry as far as where you can search for patterns, find them, save them in your little area? Is there any sites like that that you guys are really comfortable with and really enjoy? If you are, comment below, please. I'm just looking, I guess not really even necessarily to branch out, but just for other options, because I like to sometimes just go on and search. And Ravelry has that option, and a lot of people use Ravelry, but I don't know. I just want to see if there's other things out there that other people use that you can sometimes find patterns for that you can't other places. I have nothing knitting new. This isn't going to be a very long episode, I guess, because I really don't have that much to talk about, and I've already cruised through most of it. I don't have anything knitting new. I did look up some Red Heart of the Heart and Soul yarn, which is sock yarn, but it's aloe infused. I looked up some of that. It's relatively inexpensive. It's like $5.80 for a skein, but they're 218 yard skeins, I think. And I could probably get a pair of ankle socks out of those for me. But like longer socks, like if I was going to do something like this, I don't think I'd be able to, because that was a Knit Picks, and I think that the Felici is like 263 yards. And I actually had to, that was one full skein, and then I had to use some from a second skein. And so I wouldn't be able to do longer socks for sure with them. But I wondered if anybody had used it and what you thought of it. A lot of the things that I saw said that they really didn't feel like it was any different to work with. A lot of people said that they felt like it was more soft on their feet, but I don't know. So if anybody's used it, let me know. The other thing was I was going to show, if you guys have ever heard, this is an Etsy store. I'm going to try and pull it up so you can see some of the yarns that they have. They have 2 stores and I haven't quite figured it out. They're from Germany. I have them favorited because they are amazing, amazing. These guys have got some beautiful, they don't have any like multicolored, they're all solids, but they have got this insane, they're from Germany. Did I say that already? I apologize if I did. They're from Germany and I don't quite understand, like, I don't know. Okay, so this is just some of the, this is their Etsy shop. It's Dye for Yarn and Dye for Wool. They're 2 different separate stores, but it's like the same yarn, same company, same everything. But look at that lusciousness. And they're fairly inexpensive. Like, this one is silk cashmere. This pink one, this, well, it says electric light purple. I apologize. I thought it was pink. It is 75% silk, 25% cashmere. It's 547 yards of a fine lace weight. And they want $21.17 for it. And that's that one there. I don't know how much shipping from Germany is, but like I said, they have the 2 stores, so it's the same symbol, Dye for Yarn and then Dye for Wool. I'll show you their wool one. Oh, I guess it's white on this one now. There's the wool. And then they just have, I mean, there's the electric light purple right there again. And so I'm not quite sure, I don't know if it's like they have specific bases in one and other bases in the other, I'm not sure. But they have a fantastic, I mean, their colors are so vibrant and so beautiful. So I wanted to touch base with you on that and show you that. Not that I need to enable anybody, but just so you could see that there were some other options out there for you if you were looking into that kind of stuff. Life in general, there's really not much going on. I'm 21. I just erased 8 weeks. I erased 2 months off of my pregnancy gauge. 2 months. Almost 2 months and a week. I am 29 weeks. 6 days. So I'm almost 30 weeks pregnant. My next appointment is at 32 weeks. And then it starts going every 2 weeks. Everything's good. I think that I've experienced Braxton Hicks contractions, but only like twice. Nothing major or fantastic. I don't even think they were that bad as I guess probably most people have. I just sat down, drank a bunch of water, and then it was basically gone. Anthony is not here. I already said that. He's in Portland at a coaching clinic. He's really excited about being there. I'm excited about him getting back. Me and Gage are just hanging out. He's ready to go outside and play for a little bit. I said the word outside and he went, hmm? So I'll take him out here in a second, but he's sitting up on the, let me show you. Oh look, it's Gage. It's Gage. Hi, handsome. He is just sitting next to me up on the couch being a little stink butt. He's been kind of naughty this morning. He's at like a really, I don't know if he's extra teething or if something's growing in the back, but he's getting really bitey. He was really bitey today. And so he's kind of been in trouble a lot today. Kind of been in trouble a lot today. And he was really whiny this morning, so I'm not sure what his deal was this morning, but he's been a little bit better this afternoon. It is almost 2 in the afternoon here, so yeah, that's about all that's going on here. Today so far has been pretty quiet as far as the motel. minus that I had like 6 messages from one person this morning when I got out here. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she called immediately after I listened to all the phone calls, all the messages. And I'm like, you know, I answered the phone and she's just like, I need a room right now. And I'm like, well, I don't have any right now because the housekeeper is cleaning them all. And she's like, well, when are they going to be done? And I'm like, well, check-in's not until 2 p.m. Well, I need one right now. And I was like, tough. So, that was like at 9 this morning. So it was like, everybody thinks that you just don't ever have rooms rented or something, or that they can get in whenever they want. But sometimes it's interesting what you encounter at the motel. So that's all that's going on here. I started scrapbooking a little bit yesterday. I was organizing the pictures, I should say. I had ordered like almost 300 pictures. When did I order those, Gage? Sometime this week. And those came in yesterday. Plus I had a ton of pictures that my mom had given me from other family stuff. And so I started kind of organizing those into what I wanted them to be and where. And I got my scrapbooking stuff all out, set on a table, because I figured this is a good weekend to do it. Anthony's not here. The dog can be wild. And so I figured that it was a good time to do it. And so I started laying them out, and I was going to start putting them on pages, and I came to realize that I don't have a glue dot runner. Dang it. I used it on a different wedding album that I had created, and so now Gage and I are going to run to the store here in a little bit so I can get a glue dot runner and start actually putting pictures on. I'll probably have to get another scrapbook page as well, because the one that I have is not going to hold the 600 pictures that I have. So we'll probably start working on that here in a little bit. I gotta take him potty, and then we'll go get a glue dot runner and hang out for the rest of the day, and he'll get to go to the store with me. And at this store they have some like jerky sausage salami things that are pretty delicious, and he digs them with me. We had a little ice cream this morning, and so tonight we'll have some of the goodies from that store. So we're gonna go do that, and I will get on to scrapbooking. I think that that's all I have for this episode. Hopefully next episode I will have these socks completely completed, and I will have hopefully newborn baby tube socks done. I can't imagine that those would take that long to do. I mean, they're only going to be, what, that long? So I can't imagine that they would take that long to do, but gosh, only knows what's going to happen. So I will see you guys next time. Enjoy your weekend. I hope it is sunny and bright. As you can see, it is out in my place, in my neck of the woods. So yeah, keep your needles clicking, and I'll see you next time. Sorry for the rambling.